Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another day. We got a great show lined up for you. We're about to go live on 90.1 FM. So all our first-time viewers, go ahead and hit the like button. All our returning viewers, go ahead and hit the heart button. Please share the video, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate everybody for continuing to tune in. It's been 7 years, almost 8. Pretty soon it'll be 8 years. 8 years rocking and rolling right here on 90.1 with old Handyman. Yep, it's going to be a good show today. We got Mr. Willie Jones coming on, so we're about to go live in just a second. Make sure I got this tuned in right. Yeah. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Revive Mississippi. I'm your host, Keith Stamps. We got a great show lined up for you today, ladies and gentlemen. We got a few announcements and a lot of good things going on. We're going to have a show with Miss Willie Jones from Dependable Corp, and then we're going to talk a little city and government business after that, and we're going to take some calls as well. As we open every show, we always take a moment to say, please remember those people who are going through bereavement. Bereavement is a very, very hard thing to go through. It's a process that you never get around. When you lost a mother, a father, a sister, brother, child, you never get all around it. But with family, friends, and good community, we can get through these things. And I just left the viewing of one of our mentors, Mr. Frank Blunson, former council person Frank Blunson, and please keep Blunson family in your prayers. His son, his grandson, and everybody's there. I just saw so many people, and just amazing how you live a life and you don't really realize how many people you touch. And I got there and I saw all the names that have been written in the book, and over the course of the last week, just talking to different people, Mr. Blunson and Blunson family, we appreciate y'all, and we definitely keep y'all in our prayers. And also, give them a call next week. It's not just, the homegoing service and all of that. It's the days and weeks after where folks need you even more. So definitely take time out to reach out to his family and all of the families. Harvey Johnson family, they had a loss in their family as well, and just so many others. I don't want to just get the name and names, but reach out to those folks. Mayor Johnson's always been a great friend of mine and a good mentor. So please continue to reach out to their family and let them know you're there for them, and all the bereaved families that are out there. Definitely reach out to them and let them know that you are having the hearts and prayers, and just everybody, because we can all get through all these things together. In isolation, when you're alone and you feel like the walls are closing in on you, that's when things get rather hard. Hey, Brother Timothy, how you doing, sir? Thanks for tuning in. So definitely our hearts go out to those families who are in bereavement. Also, our sponsors, Mr. Micheal Jordan Transportation Service. For all your transportation needs, you can go to www.mjstransportation1.com for your transportation needs. They have great service. They're statewide, always good friends of our show, but also they're expanding as always, and they're always hiring good folks. So make sure you continue to participate and share with them, because Mr. Jordan and Micheal Jordan Transportation Service is definitely a great product of Jackson, Mississippi. Is a military veteran, and he's giving back. He's rebuilding things in the community so the money rolls over. And that's the kind of economic rollover that we need in our community going forward. Also, special prayer goes out to the families that were involved in the house fire. That apartment fire over there off of that was in Ward 4 just last week. We had 6 families displaced. We had 6 families that were displaced in the house fire. You can definitely reach out to those families. You reach out to our office if you want to have any donations. You can give us a call at 601-960-2052. That's 601-960-2052. If you want to donate to the family members who have been displaced with the apartment fire that happened just last week. And anything else you want, we take donations for things all the time. So definitely make sure you, help somebody, because in times like this, times of tragedy, we all need to come together as a community to continue to help each other. We just been joined in the studio by Mr. Malcolm Johnson. It wasn't a planned guest, but our other guest is running a little bit late. Mr. Johnson, you got some comments on some announcements you want to make today?
Well, I want to say, I almost said Councilman Stamps, but Representative Stamps, that I'm hearing great things about you all over the city, all over the county. And I just want to tell you to keep doing what you're doing, brothers. I remember when you first came aboard as a councilman. And if you look at some of the pictures with you in those days, you looked a little
young. Hair, man.
You had a little hair on you.
I had hair on my head.
Not too much gray.
Yeah. I felt young too.
Yes, sir. But I wanted to just tell you, man, that the sky's the limit. I mean, I even may see you as maybe the first black senator out of Mississippi, or the next black congressman out of Mississippi, as far as people in the community, what they're saying. They're saying Stamps is working. You here, you there, you're everywhere. You're attending your meetings. A lot of people try to pretend you couldn't attend the meetings.
Didn't miss one.
And still voting.
Right.
Yes, and you also going to still going to what the meetings y'all have in the council. That's
the committee.
You still even going to a committee meeting. So I just wanted to tell you, brother, keep doing what you're doing. But I know you come from a good family. I know your father, Mr. Delmer Stamps, and your mother. She worked hard at serving, and y'all just some good serving people. But the key is that you have entered into the atmosphere with your own name, and you didn't ride nobody's coattail. You worked hard to get where you were, and that speaks volumes.
I'm blessed to have some amazing parents. Amazing parents. But I kind of wanted to do some stuff on my own.
And you done it.
So but nothing. My parents. When I say my parents, I got some amazing parents. I have no excuse for any type of failure with parents like that. I have amazing parents.
But I take my hat off to you, brother, because no matter when you see Representative Stamps, he's always himself. Let me tell you, a lot of people get with their wives and their voice change, and they start talking proper, and they does become deep. But when you with Representative Stamps, no matter where him and Miss Stamps is at, he's always, and she's just as genuine as him. But he still Stamps. His conversation don't change, because he's not talking about anything when she's not around that he can't talk about when she around. So I just want the listener audience to know that Mr. Stamps is what you call a prime example of a good, young, middle-aged role model for young people. And you know what? Mr. Stamps can also, and I know, man, I'm right. If you got some young men that need a little guidance, maybe on how to push a lawnmower or something, you hear me? I believe Mr. Stamps can even show them how to run a
Oh, yeah.
He works hard.
What's going on in the county? Y'all got some updates what's going on in the county?
Well, county is
we share some area out there, Learned, down Adams Station Road, Morrison Cemetery Road. That's in my neck of the woods out there. What y'all got?
A lot of them talk now still about cleaning up behind the storm. The ice storms a couple of months ago. But in government, when funds is available, you have to do it the right way.
That's right.
Because if not, you won't be your money won't get back to you. You've been lost.
That's right.
So now that's really what's going on in our area now. We still, county and city, people may think that it's overnight, but you have to work together. There's two different forms of government. The city councilman, I want to say this, city councilmen are responsible for the voting of the finances and approving in the city. Now, a lot of people think city councils can pave streets, fix the sewage, can go down and tell the police chief where they're selling drugs at, and other things. But that is not true. And if anyone out there is saying they can do this and do that, Mr. Stamps, they are not being honest with the people. A councilman have a role to play. And anyone that is misleading the people by saying they're gonna do this and do that it don't go like that. The bottom line, you're responsible for the budget, you're responsible for voting and allowing the mayor or the administration to do what they can and can't do. Now let me say this, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Stamps. And Mr. Stamps vote to get a zoo $1 million
every year.
Yeah, but when the money is voted on, it goes until the approval. Now it's up to the honesty of the mayor whether he put it where they voted at. So that's something that people don't know, but people believe that they know. But listen now, the councilman have a hard job, but the backfiring that we get. And when trouble comes, the councilman is a part of administration. But when everything going good, you never see the councilman. But I just want to educate you though. You have to know who will make votes that will help the citizens of Jackson and have an interest of our city.
Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment? Turn your background music down.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm turning it down now.
All right. What's your question or comment, brother?
My personal comment is I just wanted is this Mr. Stamps show?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I can't complain. Just, working a little bit.
My question was like, what's your views or what is your position as far as like, I'm going to say trying to take the city back, bro. Trying to take the city back from the violence that's overtaken it. Like, it's not a one-man job, of course. But I'm just wondering, you, Mr. Stamps, like your authority, your position in the city. I wonder what you personally want to do. Like, what personal plans do you have as far as like curbing the violence? And I'm kind of looking for something other than beefing up the police force, or like what everybody else is saying, and ain't a whole lot of people doing. But like I've been really trying to reach out to some city leaders and council members, on what their position is, because I'm looking forward to being boots on the ground, and actually combating this situation. I don't mean anything like, violent or anything like that, but I'm talking about like a rally. I'm ready to come together as a city. You feel what I'm saying? It's almost 50 people dead. They ain't even made.
Well, let me approach that. Let me approach that.
I actually called you like in the middle of I'm outside protesting, bro. I'm protesting the violence. Okay. And I stopped in the middle of it because I seen your show come on, and I just wanted to, I'm trying to reach out to people like you. You have a powerful position in the city, and I mean, we need you. The city needs you. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm asking you, like, personally, what do you have like in mind in order to, like, we got to curb this. Summertime gonna be deadly if we don't, bro. And I'm looking to join forces with some city members. I'm looking to snatch some of these church leaders out of the pulpit and and hit the streets where they need it. And I just want to kind of hear from you, personally, if you don't mind.
Okay, let me answer that in about 3 different answers. All right. First, I'm gonna go with my role as a city council person and state representative. Those 2 functions, we got to focus on more economic development. We got jobs. We got too many people not working. We got to get our folks back to work.
That's right.
We just got. Young people included. When I was in high school, most of the folks that I was in school with all had jobs. First, we got too much illegal money flowing in the streets and not enough legal money flowing in the streets.
Tax money.
Real money. So first and foremost, we got to get folks back to work. We got to get more jobs inside Hinds County and the city of Jackson. Secondly, we got to safely reopen these churches and schools. We got to get these after-school programs back up and running. We got to get these young folks back engaged in some sense of normalcy versus just walking down the street. From what I can tell, the virtual option that some folks are still doing has not been successful. It's helped, but it's kept people safe from the virus. But the grades are dropping. The actual attention of our children We cannot sit, our children were already not as advanced as they should be. And now they got to play catch up because they've been sit back almost a year, in some cases 2 years, because of the timeliness of what's happened between last year's school year being cut short this year. So we got some students that are behind almost 2 years in life, period. Next step is we got to, all men need to take charge of these situations. We know who's doing what. And if you call yourself a man, you sit there and let your son, your nephew, your cousin be engaged in this kind of activity, and then you don't snap up and show them what's right. Now, I know women have a powerful role as well, but first and foremost, men have to be men and set the good example for these young people and tighten them up when necessary. And women have to let men be men.
Let them be men. And men got to be men.
Right, men got to be men. And then women got to also say, hold on, you know, right, you got it take a village. Like I was saying, like you said a second ago, it took me having a whole village to get me kind of straight. That's right. I ain't all the way just perfect now, you know, but it took a whole village just to get me right. So we got to rebuild village. There's been our community has devolved into jungle status. And we got to deconstruct this jungle and rebuild a village of folks who care. Next thing is what we've been doing. I got a group of folks that live in our area. You know, I know police have a rough job. We've been patrolling the street ourselves. Myself and a handful of other brothers that get together. We bought a little Ford Ranger. We patrol the street, got a little light on the top of the car, and I got plenty of guns. So we patrol our area ourselves and report problems. I ain't saying everybody do that. I ain't saying take the law in your own hands. But I am saying I'm not finished. It took a naked man knocking on one of my senior citizens' door at 2 o'clock in the morning, high on drugs, to let me say, well, I need to do something else. I need to do something additional, right? Then on the government side, city, county, and state must partner and work together, because every elected official in this state is elected to solve the problems of Mississippians. That's what you elected to do. So now, just because you may be at the state level or the federal level, you are elected to solve. Jackson is not Jackson's problem. Jackson is a Mississippi problem. Everybody. Mississippi cannot go forward until Jackson go forward. So the further Jackson go backwards, the slower Mississippi's forward progress will be. And so I'm willing to partner with every level of government in every area, not just police. I'm willing to partner with the state, county, and the federal government to work on schools, to work on economic development, to work on infrastructure. We must partner with everybody we can partner with in order to solve these many problems that we have. That's right. You know, they say pride comes before the fall. For destruction. And we cannot sit here and be too prideful and not partner with folks. See it come. Right. We see the edge of the cliff. We done fell off several cliffs. So we must partner with everybody we can partner with in order to solve problems, agree what we can, and cut down some of the arguing and start working together to move things forward. Myself and Malcolm ain't agreed on a lot of stuff. Oh yeah. But when it's time to clean up, we're gonna work together. When it's time to solve a problem, we're gonna work together. And that's what it takes. So and on the community side, I mean, I'm going down my list. It's a long, you give me a big question. I got a long answer for you. All right. I'm going down my list. Hold on, give me a few more seconds.
Grabbing stamps.
I want you to be as thorough as you can too.
Right. So next, at the community level, let's say your neighborhood, I need you to go down your street and make sure everybody on your street has everybody's phone number. That's how granular the organizing has to get to, and everybody got to communicate. See something, say something. When you see something, send a group text out. Hey, who car is this down here? Who is this right here? Right? We need to be unified. You'd be amazed how many neighbors don't have their neighbor's phone number. That's right. Or know their name. Or know their name. I don't know one of my neighbors' names. Well, go home and fix that. Swing by Walmart, get you one of them sweet potato pies, and take it next door. Introduce yourself. What I'm saying is, so at the local level, at the neighborhood level, and that's what we got to do as a neighborhood. That's right. We need to create a neighborhood address book to know what everybody does. You don't need to be calling nobody from across town or across the county for a carpenter when you got one down the street. Each neighborhood got service workers in it. If you need some work done, you need to call one of your neighbors to keep your money flowing inside your neighborhood.
That's right.
So there's a lot of work that a lot of folks got to do at a lot of levels, but everybody got something they can do to help solve these problems.
That's right.
And so we just got to take care of each other, and we got to be the example. See, these children don't have examples.
At home.
See, integration, and I'm gonna say this, and some folks might get mad, they might screenshot it or whatever they do online. I'm gonna say it just like it is. Integration, the way it happened in America, was the worst thing that ever happened to black folks.
Will you say it again?
Integration, the way it rolled out, was the absolute worst thing that ever happened to black folks. You know what happened? Because folks just, see, all the leadership was killed off. So there was no guidance when it came to integration. Folks just started leaving. So what happened now is you don't have folks in the neighborhood. You got you people growing up. They don't see not one functional family.
That's right.
It used to be when you had, you know, a mom, a single mom, or somebody that may have a bad situation at home. They tell their kids, well, go down the street and play at the Stamps house.
That's right.
And then that child will come over to the house and play, and they'll see a mother and a father in the home, and they'll have dinner, and they'll sit at the dinner table. They may not have that same environment at their house, but at least they had an example down the street.
That's right.
That they can go to and learn stuff from, and then they can, okay, well, this is a more fun. Even though I have a dysfunctional home, now what's happened is all your families have left. Jackson don't have middle class anymore, so people don't have a Cosby Show like it used to be. They don't have any visual examples of what functional looks like, and they're surrounded by dysfunction.
That's right.
And so now, for those of us who have not left, we got to be the example. So I practice what I preach. So when I retired, came back to Mississippi, I bought a house down the street from my parents. And my sister bought one around the corner. And my aunt and 4 of my cousins. We live in one little neighborhood. So we've taken our personal life, committed at a personal level to rebuild village. And that's what we got to do. Rebuild village. Because it's good for me. Because I ain't really got it. My wife and I, we don't cook that much. We can just stop here, stop there. On Sunday, we know we're going over Aunt Johnny's house, out of my sister's house. You know, so we rebuild village. My niece and my nephew are the most privileged children I know because they got both sets of grandparents living down the street from them. On their mama's side and their daddy's side, they can walk to their grandparents' house.
Can't beat that.
They can walk to their uncle's house. They can walk to the auntie house, and 4 more of their cousins' house. They're right around each other. That's village. That's how I grew up. I grew up, if I ain't got it in my house, I'm gonna go run next door and get it.
That's right.
Now, my nephew, he can run to my house, he can run to his granddaddy's house, he can run to his house, you know, and that's the kind of village we gotta rebuild. So that's why I call on all leaders. If you are a leader, call yourself a leader, want to be a leader. If you're not rebuilding village in your own community, what are you doing? Just buying a house and buying a Lexus? What good is that? We got to rebuild village and use our personal lives to do it. This is not some disconnected function of leadership that we must employ in the city of Jackson. It takes fully committed leadership.
That's right.
In order to execute this stuff at a personal level. How personal is it to buy a house down here from your parents and your sister and you bring that's personal.
Yeah, very.
So, but it makes my tone different because when I talk about problems in my ward and in my city, I got 450 family members that live in the city of Jackson. Personal. And so I changed. Let me catch this caller, brother. I got a phone line lined off the hook. Let me catch this caller, brother. Hey, caller, welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Yeah, how you doing, Brother Stamps?
Hey, what's going on, Doc?
Yeah, I see where and I'm glad they did. You see where they honored the young football player at Mississippi State who said he wasn't going to represent the state, and if they didn't help change their flag, but I must congratulate on him on doing so. You know.
Okay, we appreciate you for calling in, sir.
Did you see that?
No, sir.
I heard about it. Young man from Mississippi State.
Malcolm should know about
Yes,
it.
sir. And also this week we honored the near 4A state championship basketball team at the Hines County Board of Supervisors this past Monday morning. So there's young men doing positive things, but there's so much negative going that it overshadows the good things. And Mr. Stamps can tell you, there's some good things going on in Jackson, Mississippi, Hines County, and the state of Mississippi. But I did hear about Willie Miley, I believe.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, caller, welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
All right, sir. Now I give you a long answer to a short question, but that's how deep our issues are, and I appreciate you. You got any comment to that?
Yeah, I did want to comment to it, and I just wanted to say that, I agree mostly with where you're coming from. You're a native, you're from here, and your family's here, so of course you're going to take a certain, stance about it. But like, I'm just, my purpose in calling and reaching out to you, is because like I'm ready to take action.
That's right.
Boots on the ground.
I'm not a politician, so like I don't have a career to, that I'm trying to blow to the sky. I don't like. It's not about money to me. It's about my brothers and sisters that's dying every day. By the droves here in the city. I've been here for almost 6 years. I'm not a native, but I love the city that I'm in. And I was just about to move to Atlanta, but it's like.
Hey, I got another caller coming in, bro. Let me catch your next caller.
Okay.
All right. Send it through, Hen. No. Call back, caller. The phone got disconnected in the transfer. But again, ladies and gentlemen, solutions for Jackson and Mississippi is for us to work together.
Unity.
Work together. Like I said, and I didn't plan to have Malcolm on the show today.
Oh.
He was in the studio. I waved him in, and that showed that we've not always agreed.
We agree on that.
But we agree on let's work together.
We haven't disagreed on that much.
Right. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Hey, Nikita, how you doing?
What's going on?
Tony.
Who's this?
Antonio.
Hey, what's going on, bro?
All right. Look, I was just gonna make a comment on what you said. If we would just get our patriots and our matriarchs back in the family, we'll do great things for the city. We need those leading elders that's gonna take the helm of the family and lead the family the way it should go.
That's right.
I agree.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it. Let me catch this caller.
Councilor, let me say this also. On April the 27th, there will be a big runoff. Now, we know our people do not like to go back to runoffs. This time the Democratic primary had a real low turnout.
Yep.
And the people's.
Hold on 1 second.
Yes.
Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Councilman Stamps.
Hey, sir. Hey, Mr. Jones. How you doing?
I got Pastor Jackson on. Nikita, you got to be God sent. I've been trying to get Malcolm back at WMPR for over a year now. and you got him in the flesh, right? He lied.
He lied, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You got to be God sent. We're gonna elevate you to another level. Yes, sir.
That's fine. I'll send you my W-9 so you can send me my paycheck.
I do that. But look, Nikita, let me ask you a couple of questions real quick and I'm years Pastor Jackson. You familiar with Cypress Mandela, the training program in California, right?
Most definitely. I got a good friend out there who works for that program out there in Oakland.
In Oakland. And when they put that program together to keep the crime, the murder rate, the recidivist rate, it was as bad as it is in Jackson. And that program turned around that community. They take young men, they put them through boot camp training, and they make millions out of it. All right. Now, you familiar with the work that we've been doing? You've been a part of it where you take your money because you can't take a man that don't know how to work to keep it and don't have no equipment to go to work. Say you get a construction job, you got to have work boots, hard hat. All right. You got to have transportation. All right. Now, a few years ago, the county came up and mustered some kind of way with about $1 million to keep it. Over 2 years, they accumulated $3 to $4 million. And then that money was returned back to Hinds County. And an all-black male board, meaning, sat there to keep it. And before they would invest into a training program now that can take young men off these streets in Jackson, they took that money and they said they put it back in the general fund. A few weeks ago, another $600,000 came back to the county. Now, you are a state elected official and a city elected official. And I'm gonna ask you a question. I want you to be absolutely honest, and I ain't trying to put you on the spot. But Nikita, if a city or county will not invest its own money, now I'm not talking about grant funding, but I'm talking about if a city, a county, or even a house, Nikita, won't invest a small amount of money into a training program, where do you believe that they can get a grant from? And I'm saying this, when you had the money in your hand, they could have put at least $100,000 into a training program on State Street, and at least we'd have got some of these young men off these streets. And this is my last comment. I'm gonna give to Pastor Jackson. This past weekend, I'm sending you this email. I got an email from English Shipbuilding to keep it. And Kahoma Junior College, they sending 10 young men to English Shipyard. And we help them get the houses and get them a place to live until they make their first paycheck. Now, we've been working with English for over 2 years, but we haven't been able to get at least 5 young men out of Jackson that can go to their shipyard and come back within 30 days, and other young men see that this can be done. These men have lost hope in Jackson. And it starts with our leadership. If our Hinds County Board of Supervisors, the people, will not invest into the young black men on these streets, we can't expect the government. And I yield to Pastor Jackson.
Brother Stamps, how you doing tonight? You have a good show. You have my godson here, Brother Malcolm Johnson, done a great job. And I want to say to you, people, keep doing what you're doing. But what Brother Jones is saying, where you can't get your leadership to do right, how you gonna get others to do right? Charity starts at home and it spreads abroad. We have more murders here in Jackson, and it's a shame before the Almighty. And I pray for our leaders who will not doing the wrong thing, taking money, switching it around, find folks doing this and doing that, people losing this and losing that, and saying they are part and not a part. They are deceiving their self. But they don't realize, Brother Stamps, and I thank you for you understanding that you work for the people. I wonder sometimes when you ever goes to you work 24/7 and a person can call you. I don't care what they say about you. You're a man of your word, and I can meet you anywhere. And you the same, and you come from one of the best bold cross that I ever seen in my life. And you are God-fearing man, and I love what you do. You go see your family, and sometimes I wonder, do those people realize they work for the public? You vote them there, we vote you there, and you doing your job. Now you done got so much done since you've been in the legislature. You keep doing what you're doing. You don't go Brown and others. Y'all doing that, and I appreciate you. And y'all be blessed, and I'm gonna get off this, and I'm gonna listen to you tonight.
Malcolm, welcome home. Bye.
All right, we appreciate Pastor Jackson and Mr. Jones always. They had a good show this morning. I headed out this
7
morning.
o'clock this morning.
I got down to the I went down to my church. I cut the grass down there, and I got down there about 6:30, Malcolm, and I was, getting my stuff cleaned up, getting it ready to go, getting gassed up, and I turned it ready. I had the gospel on it first, and then the sermon on it first, and then at 7 o'clock they came on, had such a good show, I even had to call in.
I heard you.
So I appreciate the work they do in moving forward, and this we got to work together. Like I said, me and it's several folks in government and in life today. We even on the Republican side, Democrat side, white, black. At this point, everybody got to work together. No matter how you got to the table, if you are elected at a table somewhere, or elected in leadership in the neighborhood, presidents, pastors, and so forth.
That's right.
Everybody at the table has to work together. And do better.
No big eyes, no little.
Realize that what we have been doing has not been as effective as we wanted, and we got to do better across the board. Matthew was talking about the election coming up.
Yeah, we got an election coming up on April the 27th. Now this is going to be a runoff, and people is already saying that the numbers are going to be low. Now I'm not going to say let's prove them wrong, but what I'm going to say, let's go vote, because it's 2 runoffs and 2 seats. Now let me say this: Councilman Banks in Ward 6 would not be in the runoff on the 27th. I heard somebody say today he will be in the general on June the 8th. He have a Republican candidate. Now on April the 27th, in the seat which Councilman Stamps, he's still a councilman, and it hadn't been given up yet. As of now, he's still a councilman. The seat that he formerly held, which is Ward 4, that's over in the Bel Air community, Northwest Hills, on out across subdivision number 2, out Willowwood and Cedar Hills, Brook Hollow area, out that way. Y'all know who y'all are. Well, Councilman Stamps served Ward 4. It's a building out there called the Peggy Hobson Calhoun building out there. I'm talking about right in that area right there. Y'all know. There would be a runoff in Ward 4. Now, I'm going to go on the record and say this because I feel like if we don't get it right at the council position right now, Jackson could be in for the biggest fall it has ever seen in the history of the city of Jackson. And I'm saying that these women, Councilman Stamps, have been doing great in government. We have a woman that's the vice president of the United States of America. And she's black, but she's a woman, and she stands for what she means, she say what she means, and she fights hard to support Joe Biden, our president. And my hat goes off to her. And I want to go on record to say that some of the best politicking that's going on now is going on through our women. And I'm just going to say in this Ward 4 race, I'm asking everybody that will on the sound of my voice, and she led the ticket in the primary. That's none other than Miss Jacqueline Amos. She led the ticket. But what I'm going to ask everybody to do up on my weak voice is go and cast your vote for Miss Jacqueline Amos. Because number one, we just stated, all of these promises can't be done by a council person. And I have not publicly heard her make a promise that a councilman can't do, because I understand from what I'm hearing and what I know about her, she understands the job. And this is also why we need a little bit more minority participation. Minority ain't always black. Sometimes it could be white, sometimes it could be woman, sometimes it could be an Indian. But we need a little bit more minority participation. This would be the first female, am I right, Councilman Stamps? If she is elected, she'll be the first female, African-American and female, to ever represent Ward 4. So I'm asking everybody on the sound of my weak voice. This is Malcolm Johnson. That's not Councilman Stamps. Malcolm Johnson is asking everybody to join with Mike Espy and so many others in helping Ms. Jackie Amos become the next council person, councilwoman of Ward 4 on April the 27th.
We're going to take calls in just a second, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate Malcolm coming on and supporting the Amos campaign. You know, I put my life into Ward 4.
You did that.
I put everything I had. I remember we only made the runoff in 13. by my good friend, Miss Dorothy Benford. We only made the runoff by 35 votes. So if Dorothy Benford had got 18 more votes, to keep the stamps would have never been in politics.
Wow. And she's a pioneer, so I want to give Ms. Benford.
So Ms. Benford, my hat goes off to Ms.
Right.
Benford, the work she's done over the years.
Over the years.
And that body of work over a lifetime. But I put everything I had into that campaign. I didn't grow up in a political family. I grew up in a hard-working family. Not a political family, just a regular, hard-working family. And we worked hard, and we got in, and we've been working hard ever since. Now, in the primary, I had 2 cousins in the race. Good friend Eddie James.
Great man.
Great.
My friend Eddie James, and I want to go on record. So he's still. I talked to him yesterday.
Right.
We still friends.
Right. And so in this race, you got 2 good folks. Hands down, you got 2 good folks. But I feel, from knowing the job and knowing it personally, that Miss Jackie Amos would do a great job as a city council person in Ward 4. Will do a great job. And I feel also that we need some more women on the city council.
That's right.
Because a lot of times, you get this competition, this butting the heads thing.
That's right.
They come on to the same thing. I noticed it with Councilwoman Lee. I passed her a little note. She said the same daggone thing I say. And everybody said, oh, that makes sense.
A lot.
So I feel that sometimes I may not have been the best messenger.
That's right.
Maybe I had a good message. So for me, I'm not so conceited or think so highly of myself that is my way or the highway. But I will say that, I think we need to balance this thing out a little more. And I know that Ms. Amos will do a great job on the city council in Jackson, Mississippi.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
Now, Councilman Stamps, coming from you, and I didn't know that was your choice. When I come in, I didn't know how to speak on behalf of Malcolm Johnson. But coming from you, and you know the ward better than anybody. You know the people in the ward. Mm-hmm. And they always told me, I've never been elected, but as an SPO, I get to work with people. Mm-hmm. They told me you have to be temperate.
Hold on 1 second, Cole.
You have to be temperate when dealing with people. Mm-hmm. And a lot of my decisions were based on the temperateness of Ms. Jackie. She listens, and she also speak in orderly fashion. You know what I mean when I say that? She don't overtalk. And you got to listen to those people, the voters. Not just the voters, you got to listen to everybody in the city. Mm-hmm. But I go by the person who's going to listen, not talk, with knowing everything, and would sit back and observe and listen and see what the needs of the people, what the people want.
I appreciate that. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Hey, how y'all doing today?
I'm doing well.
I was just listening and trying to hold my peace, not to call in. But
well, I'm glad you did.
I chimed in.
This is Mr. Will.
Wilbur home.
Yeah, how you doing?
Help you. I'm doing pretty good. Just trying to get out the streets from working, but I figured I'd call in before I got out my truck. But I was just saying, hopefully we can get somebody on the city council that is going to be responsible to the citizens of Jackson. It's sad to say it, but the city of Jackson has seen over the last few years, everything has seemed to decline immensely. And the living conditions here are, especially in the area I'm in, it's almost becoming intolerable and unbearable with the constant gunfire and people riding down the street with illegal mufflers on 4-wheelers, and wow. It's just chaos. It's civil disobedience. And I called the dispatcher. I see a gentleman out in the yard shooting and a child playing right next door. And I called the dispatcher. A police officer never shows up. This is ridiculous. So we do our part as citizens. We pay our taxes, and as a result, we have a right to receive certain consideration and certain services from the city. And the city doesn't have that. It's not like they recreating the wheel. It's some type of new phenomenon. The things that need to be addressed in the city can be addressed with a real commitment and a dedication and without making excuses and without passing the buck or without pointing the finger at somebody else. We long past the point where we can point the finger at one another and blame one another for the conditions and circumstances, which we all have created, myself included. And I've done what I can with my children. And so I thank God that I've tried to do the best to keep them out of trouble and keep them on the straight and narrow and make sure they're working. But the situation surrounding the job, this job for Dependable, they just not paying any money. But it's not so much the money, it's not so much the job as it is instilling the right values and teaching the right values to these young people and put them in an atmosphere that let them know they matter and they essential. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna go. So the powers that be, I'm speaking from state government and federal government and even from local government, they don't realize that every time you use a young man to death or to incarceration, you lose a tax player. You lose an employee, you lose a father, you lose a church member. So subsequently, what is going to happen is that society, at least this community in which we live in, is not going to be able to function because it's going to be so lopsided where we're not going to have adequate people to work in these jobs. We're not going to have people to sustain the day-to-day activities and the day-to-day resources and facilities and institutions that we need in order to have a functioning society. So we cannot do this without having everybody on board with the realization that every one of these individuals are important not only to their own family, not only to themselves, but to our society as a whole. It's not one person that was put on this earth that God did not intend for them to be a productive and positive and a resource to humanity. So it's a humanity issue. It's a situation where a certain segment of our culture has been dehumanized not only by the powers that be, but by themselves and by their families and by those that they're associated with. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all have a blessed day.
Well, brother, we appreciate that heartfelt testimony, and we appreciate that the way you laid that out, brother. We appreciate you, and God bless. We definitely get back on the job to continue to move the city forward and the state forward. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you. This is Jackie Amos.
Hey, Ms. Amos, we're trying to get you on the video.
I am in the car.
That's fine.
I'm in the car.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce this young lady to you. This is our preferred candidate for City Council Ward 4, Ms. Jacqueline Amos. How you doing today, Ms. Amos?
I'm great. I really am. Today's a good day. Well, every day's been a good day, but today's a great day. And I'm going to pull over so that I'm not driving at home. So
How's the campaign trail treating you today?
Sometimes it can be harsh. It can be harsh, but you know, that's just I think that's just wear and tear. But I'm feeling really good today. We're making a lot of progress, a lot of strides, talking to a lot of folks, and just looking forward to Tuesday, April 27th. That is the day, and I honestly wanted to pull over and call over and just call in and just thank that everyone that actually went out and voted, period. Whether you voted for me or you voted for the other candidates in the race, I'm just pleased that you actually exercised your right to vote. We didn't have a huge turnout, and that was disappointing to me in many ways, but I know we have a ways to go, and I am in for the long haul. So I'm asking those that came out and voted for us for the primary, if you will come back out one more time and vote for Jackie Amos. Team Amos. Team Amos is Ward 4. It's Team Amos. The city of Jackson is Team Amos. Vote for us. We are here. We are ready for the task, and we just want to be able to do what needs to be done to continue where you are, and you're not exactly leaving. As a matter of fact, you're actually, I believe you have more work now than you did then, but where you left off. So I want to do one thing, and that's make you proud but more than anything, I want to be able to make sure that the citizens of Ward 4 have a voice at that table. So I'm thankful, I'm grateful, we're working hard, and we're going to continue. So April 27th, Tuesday, April 27th, vote Amos. First name on the ballot, the only name you need to be concerned with. So once you mark that box, make sure you take 2 or 3 people with you. But Representative Stamps, I want to thank you for everything. Your confidence and your support means so much, and so many other people are supporting this campaign, supporting the effort, and I thank you all. I thank you all, and I will do my very, very best to make sure that I stay to my word and I stay to my commitment.
Well, first I appreciate you for coming on, because they had a forum scheduled tonight. She said, you know what, I want to be on your show more than, they were double booked. Yeah. And I appreciate you for taking time to come on our show. And ladies and gentlemen, that's Miss Jackie Amos. You can go vote tomorrow. You can vote Friday. You can go down to City Hall. You can vote Saturday. Vote early. Go ahead. Go on. You're not doing anything else. Don't wait till Tuesday. The weather might not be good. Go ahead. It's going to be a sunny day tomorrow. Everybody go ahead and go vote.
Miss Amos.
Yes, sir.
Council Lady Amos, would you tell me and Radio Land a few of the people that's supporting you? I would like to know.
Oh boy.
Just a few, not the whole list, but a few.
See someone else. So Supervisor Peggy Calhoun, Alice Tisdale, Judge Britton. I mean, Judge Britton, Representative Stephanie Foster, former Representative Deborah Dixon. I have gentlemen that are supporting me. William Walker. Now I have Representative Nikita Stamps. Secretary Mike Espy. I mean, it's just Ann Peyton Bridges. It's just wow. Dr. Corrine Anderson. I'm just really, really pleased. Rosalind, oh my gosh, if I don't mention my Rosalind Sylvester, Reverend Stark. It's really humbling to know that those caliber of persons are actually saying, hey, this person, this woman right here is ready. And I'm really proud of that. I really am. I did not take that lightly.
And I just got a text. Say Pastor P.J. Williams is supporting Jackie Amos.
Reverend PJ.
Now let me say something else. One of the things, because even though I've known Jackie for years, I've known Miss Amos for years, and but in this, I always make sure that I make a good decision. Wow. Listen to everybody. That's right. And she followed protocol. You'd be amazed how many people get into politics and don't even come meet with the person that's in office. There's a protocol that's in place with this. You'd be amazed how many candidates that don't follow protocol. And the fact that even though we know each other personally, she still followed protocol. And then when I drove by my dad's house and I saw a Jackie Amos sign in his front yard. Yeah. See, because I follow protocol too. I don't step out. People think, a lot of folks think I run my life. We got an order and a protocol we follow in the family.
Family stick together.
And until my daddy puts that sign in his yard, nobody else stepped forward. And so when my daddy put that sign in his yard, I knew the green light was on.
And the Reverend Clifton Jackson Sr. is also supporting you, Miss Jackie Amos. I had to say it.
And then my sister, when my dad put his sign in his yard, I don't know where they got his sign from. They took him up all the time. I don't know where they bought the sign. I don't know where they got his signs from. I drove by my sister's house, and she was going out there putting her sign in the yard. And that's how our family protocol works. People say, why you ain't saying that? Because until my daddy raised his hand, I don't step a lick.
Miss Jackie, you brought tears to my eyes Sunday when you spoke about.
It was that way with my dad too. It was that way with my father.
Miss Amos, you brought tears to my You brought tears to my eyes Sunday when I heard you and Chucky, Mr. Blunson's son, talking about when y'all was raised, and Mr. B and your dad and people in the community. how you
Right.
all came together and worked together and grew together in the community.
Yeah.
I want you to know that brought tears to my, and I got a chance today to go and see Mr. B at West Haven.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we got to sign off. They got a new rule in 90.1. In 5 minutes before your show, you got to sign off, let the other person come on. So we appreciate you. And you got any parting words, Miss Amos?
No, listen, thank you for everything. We need you one more time. That's Tuesday, April 27th from 7 to 7. You can go early. You can go tomorrow from 8 to 4:30 at City Hall. You can go Saturday from 8 to noon, 8 until noon. If you need a ride, call us, 601-213-8018. Go out and vote. Vote Amos. Vote strong. Take 2 or 3 people with you. I love you, and we're doing this.
All right. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, as we always say at the end of every show, remember our sponsor, Mr. Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan Transportation Service. You can go to www.mjstransportation1.com for your transportation needs. And he's always looking for drivers because he's always expanding and offering new service and hiring folks. So don't sit on your butt. Go get a great career as a driver for Michael Jordan Transportation Service. And if you need a ride, give him a call. Or go online, www.mjstransportation1.com. And as we end every show, we always say, never let anybody put you in a position where you don't love your own people. Because when you hate your own people, you're part of the very oppression we're trying to lift ourselves out of. I love you, Jackson. I love you, Mississippi. Hand the man. Get us out of here. Love y'all.